Entering the 2016-17 NBA season, we had a prohibitive favorite to capture the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It was the Golden State Warriors after signing Kevin Wayne Durant, who was second in total win shares the previous year. He joined MVP Stephen Curry, who had the most win shares, and Draymond Green, the all-encompassing frontcourt presence that finished 10th. For the first time in league history, a single team had 3 of the top 10 players in total win shares from the previous year. Repeating 73-9 was not expected, but they still ran away with the league's best record of 67-15 and a blistering point differential of plus 11.6. They may have lost their head coach due to back problems, but an experienced Mike Brown has taken the wheel. Truth is, anyone on the planet could guide this boat to shore. In fact, not having Kerr allows for Draymond to be more free and to do, well, more Draymond things. Through 8 games of the playoffs, Golden State is outscoring its opponents by 16.4 points per 100 possessions, even greater than Cleveland's margin in the East. Both teams are rolling after the first 4 weekends, with the path to an NBA Finals trilogy appearing clear as day. The Warriors have sparked this early playoff run with their defense, being the stingiest unit out of all 8 remaining teams. Draymond is hungry, and he's doing this damage without picking up flagrants or technicals. However, it's the offensive intelligence, carnage, and eradication that I want to examine today. During the playoffs, Golden State has passed over 309 times per game, leading to 52 potential assists. They pass frequently, and every pass has a purpose. They generate 68.8 points off of assists per game, the highest of all teams that have a shot at the title. What I found interesting is that if you combine normal assists with the hockey assists and free throw assists, which are passes that lead to at least one free throw being made, their total of 41.2 per game is far ahead of any offense. Draymond is the main root of the system, accounting for 9.2 total assists per game individually. We praise LeBron James about being a playmaker and facilitator, and rightfully so, with his 9.6 total assists per game during these playoffs. Green is neck and neck with the best player in the world in this regard. Taking a look at the contrasting styles between the Warriors and Cavs, we see how much Cleveland loves to isolate on their offensive possessions. Nearly 15% of their possessions result in ISOs, which leads every playoff team. They're pretty efficient when doing so too, scoring 1.14 points per possession. Golden State isn't much of an ISO-heavy team, running only 43 this entire postseason. Looking below at pick-and-roll ball handler frequency, it's clear that Golden State doesn't run nearly enough screen rolls for Curry and Durant. The Warriors have been efficient with their ball handlers scoring off the pick and roll, but they just don't run enough of them. Where they do excel, however, is shooting and scoring off quick screens and cuts. Over 11% of Golden State's offense comes off flare and pin down screens, while over 12% of the offense comes from direct cuts to the basket. They are ridiculously efficient scoring off screens, as is Cleveland. But the huge number here is Golden State's 67.1 field goal percentage off cuts. The offensive pieces constantly move, forcing the defense to spend so much physical and mental energy trying to keep up. Quick cutting and decision making are evident in every Warrior, but Klay Thompson has become the master at moving without the ball. He's more than just an outside shooter, and knows that a more well-rounded game will help him receive more wide-open looks later in the game. Off a miss, the Warriors reset and Utah makes the mistake of relaxing defensively. Everyone turns their back to Klay, since they think he'll concede the possession. He cuts inside, and the best playmaker on the team finds him underneath. They get even more creative here during the out-of-bounds play. The Warriors trick Utah into thinking Klay is going to use a Zaza Pachulia screen to flare toward the ball, but instead they utilize a cut to the rim. Joe Ingles and Rudy Gobert aren't paying attention to the backdoor possibility and allow an easy score. Steph Curry's gravitational pull on defenders is shown here. as he tries to penetrate but is forced to reset. Because of his shooting threat, Shelvin Mack overplays him when he gets rid of the ball. The timing is perfect, with Curry making a fast cut into the lane right when Draymond catches the pass from Iguodala. It's a simple Curry lay-in. Klay's cuts don't always have to result in him scoring. That's what makes this Warriors team special. 95% of the roster is capable of making plays for others, and everyone is unselfish. As Iguodala pushes the ball, Thompson notices the open lane and makes a hard cut. Upon catching, it's clear that Ian Clark has the most efficient shot in basketball, the short corner three. We've also seen special, but simple, stuff like this from Kevin Durant. He's become an even better passer in this Golden State system. When he's working by himself in the corner and notices a weird double team coming his way, his vision to find cutters is definitely improved. Perhaps the craziest part of this Warriors season has been the absurdity of David West's passing acumen. West is almost 37 years old, and I covered him for a couple seasons in Indiana. All he cares about is winning a title before his time is up, and that's why he's only earning $1.5 million this year. He opted out of $12 million 2 years ago to chase a title with the Spurs, and it didn't end well. This season, West set a career high with 8.5 assists per 100 possessions. In these playoffs, that's increased to 9.6 assists per 100 possessions. This has also been his 5th highest season in win shares per 48 minutes. Here we see West in the post, facing up, and quickly finding a cutting Kevin Durant. KD finishes the two-handed dunk. Then there's this beauty. Klay engages in curl action with Utah's Rodney Hood trailing him. Nothing is there, and the ball is reset to West, alone on the strong side. Everyone clears out, and George Hill turns away from Iguodala for just a millisecond. That's all Golden State needs, as West slings this one-handed jewel in the lane. Everyone cuts, everyone can pass. Let's dive more into the versatile machine that Steve Kerr and Mike Brown have, which is the always entertaining Draymond Green. This isn't a defensive breakdown video, but it is evident that his defensive ferocity unlocks another level of their offensive ceiling. He's always the one that bails out his team for the bad and careless turnovers, being able to get defensive stops in the most chaotic situations. It unleashes the transition vehicle, which now includes a pretty new Ferrari that wears number 35. Draymond's passing and decision making are critical for Golden State in many ways, most importantly to set the tone and pace of a game. His timing is impeccable, as we see here with a quick touch pass to Curry for a wing triple. He takes over in the point forward role, charging down the court in transition and making the defense react. What do you even do here? You can't collapse and leave Thompson alone on the wing. You have to be aware of every weapon running the floor. Diaw lets Durant slip back door, and Green finds him on the run. This is an even more impressive find, as Draymond pushes the ball up the court again and throws this one-handed dime past Gobert to Curry, and Gordon Hayward could not leave Klay Thompson to collapse. Take a look at that pass again from the overhead view. This is some of my favorite half-court action, with Curry and Durant initially faking a pick and roll. Durant sort of slips it, but doesn't duck down into the paint. He slides to the elbow and waits for Curry to hit Draymond on the wing. Once Green catches it, Durant is already slowly cutting to the lane. He's basically 7 foot and can finish in traffic. The Warriors get the ball to the rim without the traditional driving. Don't let Green fool you though, as he can also take someone off the dribble, especially a big man, because he's fearless. This play here may just elucidate exactly why the Dubs are unguardable. Draymond isn't afraid to punish you with his shooting, but he's a smarter player than most casual viewers give him credit for. Curry initiates pick and roll action with JaVale McGee, a lob catching threat. Defenders have to react accordingly, which means stepping up close to Curry to remove a shot attempt, and also cutting off JaVale's rim running. This puts Boris Diaw in a tough situation where he has to recover to Draymond to prevent a 3-point shot. Since Green knows Diaw is slow, he waits for the closeout and then attacks the rim himself, viciously. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be Green, Durant, or Curry that sparks beautiful possessions for Golden State. Everyone can. Keep an eye on Curry here as he makes a hard cut to the rim but doesn't receive the pass. Most superstars stop running in this situation and let their teammates ISO. not Steph. He keeps running and signals Matt Barnes to loop around the defense. Curry follows him, and this is what gets Utah's defense scrambled. Matt Barnes loses his defender, catches the pass from Shaun Livingston, and makes a pretty touch pass to the open Iguodala. If you're a young hooper, take notes. Better offense is created when you don't stand still. Let's wrap up with an in-depth look on Golden State's transition prowess. We've seen the film on how they get out and run, inflicting pain on the opponent and building huge leads. But how do they perform in transition compared to the rest of the league? In the regular season, the Warriors used 18.5% of their offense in transition opportunities, the most of all 30 teams. They scored over 2,200 points at an absurd rate of 1.21 points per possession. Typically, you don't see high volume and high efficiency. That's a deadly combo. They shot 65.7% in effective field goal percentage on the break. Now, for the playoffs, they've increased their transition percentage to nearly 20%, which is just insane when you think about it. Playoff basketball is supposed to be slower, but Golden State doesn't care about tradition. Their efficiency has dropped just a bit, but anytime you're shooting 60% on that many transition looks, the game tends to get out of hand. Durant pushes the break here after corralling a rebound, and all it takes is one pass to an open Klay, who immediately runs to his spot. It's almost impossible to react quicker. It has also helped Durant focus more on passing this year. He had his third highest season in assist percentage before getting injured, and we see why. Big men rotate to cut off his unstoppable drives, and it leaves the Warriors' bigs open to feast. Think you're going to stay at home on Golden State shooters and contain the Durantula in transition? Ha! We'll write your eulogy. This is where Draymond's open shots are generated. Defenders must throw multiple bodies at Durant and hope they can recover to the perimeter. If they can't, most can't, it's an open shot for the weakest shooter on the court. And guess what? That weak shooter is 18 of 36 from 3 in these playoffs, 50%. And 14 of 27 from 2, over 50%. It's turned into a classic game of pick your poison with these Warriors, and it's something special we may never see again. A team that's 207 and 53 in its last 260 games, including playoffs. That's winning 80% of the time. A team with 2 of the 3 greatest shooters of all time, and the single deadliest scorer to ever live. A team with the smartest defender of our generation, who is also the most versatile power forward we've had the chance to see. A team with the similar mindset of the 2014 Spurs, desperate for redemption after a gut-wrenching meltdown to LeBron James. The Warriors have won their first 7 playoff games by an average of 15.1 points. I believe they are destined for 16-1 or 16-2 this postseason, rivaling the 2001 Lakers in playoff dominance. If the basketball gods keep the injury bug away, Stephen Curry will indeed taste the championship champagne again. After 10 long years and 800 career games, Kevin Durant will taste it for the first time.